Hello everybody and welcome to Cautious Hero episode 4 anime review. This episode we had the second of the four big bad guys. I forgot what their name was. I wrote it in my notes. Haven't remembered it exactly. Second of them showed up and then got, mullered, to quote no one, just mullered. What else happened this week? There was boobs. There was, there was actually an interesting bit in the middle of it where we learned a bit more about Seiya's past, and I think I've pieced it together, so I'll save that for when we get there. But yeah, should be good time. Anyway, let's crack on with the episode and everything. See what happened chronologically, I guess. Let's do this. We pick up right where we left off at the end of last week's episode. Seiya basically telling those two party members, "Nah, mate, don't need you. You're a bit crap, really. Nah." But yeah, knights show up and to see what happened eventually. The nun backs them up saying, hey, the evil guy did it. Seiya basically asks the knights, how much money am I getting for doing this? And then also, he tells the knights, you're a bit crap actually, I don't really need you. And I'd like to say he's being a bit harsh, but I mean, he's right, isn't he? Seiya's not said anything wrong. Also then he before he leaves, he says to Rista, he's like, there's no reason for them to die unnecessarily. So it's like, oh, maybe he is a nice guy. And I think he sort of is, but also he's kind of a dick. He's like a nice guy and a dick rolled into one. What are we going to call that? I'm not going to say that. I almost said something that's a bit dodgy, so let's not say that. Then he flies off to beat the undead, leaving poor Rista behind. She's like, hang on a minute, you've abandoned me here. Because he says, don't need you either. And then he just leaves. So Poor Rista, but then she grows wings and chases after him, but then loses him. But he comes back for her. He's like, all right, let's go. Grabs her. Zoom. They zoom off. Her boobs fall out of her dress, which honestly it was pretty funny because it was blurred. It was clearly done for the comedic effect and not to make horny 12-year-olds do things. I don't know. But yeah, then they arrive at the undead army. They're like, oh, look at them all. Then he drops a meteor on them and wipes them all out. And then he drops a second meteor on them just for the lols. While that's happening, Rista is like, actually, we could win pretty easily against the bad guys. Like, we don't need any help. And at that point you realise, yeah, okay. This is the point where I realise, you know what, Seiya doesn't need any help. I sort of hope that those two kids don't stick around, because I mean, really, Seiya doesn't need any help, so it should. I think they could build it with just him and Rista, and then just have these side characters be like one-offs, like they're not permanent members of a party. That's just what I think, anyway. And then, funny joke at the end, he loses like a tenth of his MP, and is like, oh no, I've got no MP left, because he's so overly cautious. That little thing of MP gone. He's like, oh. It's wounding. But that gave me a chuckle. It took me a minute too because I had to do quick maths. I was like, hang on. 15. I was like, hang on a sec. He's just doing a silly. It was a good fun time. So yeah, Seiya wiped out the undead army a lot quicker than I thought he would. But that's fine, That is fine. A few days later, or the next day, or whenever, they're at the inn. That girl, whose name I've forgotten, Lulu, her, tells Rista, hey, Brother Mash has gone missing. Oh no, what are we going to do? So then they go to see Seiya and be like, hey, help a brother out. Literally. And he's made weapons and stuff out of Rista's hair, because he just stole her hair from wherever he could find it, which I'm going to say is a little creepy, but he made good weapons, I guess. So, I mean, would it be better if he asked? If you asked someone, hey, can I have your hair to make my platinum sword, please? Is that better than just taking it? I don't know. Who knows? Then they get a delivery from the post. It's a mirror, or it's not a mirror. It's like a Skype mirror. Like you see, it's a face cam mirror. That's what it is. They see the Mash been taken by the I forgot his name. Death Magler. He's one of the 4 heavenly kings, the big bad 4 dudes. He's going to kill Mash basically because he wiped out his army. He's like, that was a bit inconvenient. So then Seiya, the whole time he's doing the whole, you can't see his eyes, hair covering thing. He's like, alright, open a portal to the divine realm and she does. Then Seiya says something about how he was in a similar situation once. We see a brief flash of it. And he was like, what would I do if I had more time, or in that split decision and all that. So I think that previous thing is because, also there's a bit later on they go, actually no, I'll just do that now, then I'll do it after this section. He cut the bad guy's hand off with his space cutting dimension slash magic, which is a bit OP. But yeah, then they go to the place, the Vine Realm, go see Ishtar, and then they loophole it to get a portal straight to Mash. And then as they leave, she says, oh, you've grown, Seiya. So, what I think happened is last week, was it last week? Her friend, goddess, who said, like, hey, there was one world I couldn't save, and then she freaked out when she saw Seiya. So I think Seiya was the hero who tried to save that world, but failed. And now that's why he's so, like, prepared and stuff this time, because he's not going to have it happen again. Maybe Seiya just saves worlds, like, all the time. And I mean, because he didn't seem he seemed more perturbed and not like couldn't be bothered when he got summoned, rather than, oh wow, I got summoned. So maybe it could be that, yeah, it could just be it's not his first rodeo, so to speak. I think that might be it, honestly. I think that was him in the previous one, and I think we'll learn about that at some point, maybe towards the end. But who knows, you know? Anyway, let's finish up this episode quick. So yeah, they save Mash, they Rista heals him while Seiya fights the bad guy and his dark ghost beast thing. I didn't write down its name. The bad guy basically explains then exactly how to beat him. He's like, oh, you got to use ice magic, do this. And it doesn't matter though, because Seiya doesn't have the right magic capacity, he doesn't have the right stuff basically. He doesn't have the right stats and skills to defeat the monster, so that's why I guess he felt so fine explaining it to him. But then Seiya's like, I'm perfectly prepared, how dare you. Seiya prepared everything in advance, like he's got equipment and extra skills, he's got like punching skills, he's got ice equipment and loads of bracelets that he made out of Rista's hair, so he basically he demolishes the poor thing, the poor ghost demon dragon monster thing, I don't know what to call it. And then yeah, as we fade away to black, he's battering the mage dude, or whatever you want to call him, and that's the end of the episode. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed the second half more, although the first half was funny as well. I thought the first half with the undead army would last longer, and the second half, I mean, I didn't, you know, I thought the first half would last the whole episode. I haven't read the source or anything, but I thought like the undead army, they might pose a bit of a threat, but Seiya's ridiculously OP, I forgot, so of course they're not a threat, that just makes sense. But yeah, I'm curious to see what happens next. I'm curious to see about the previous world and Seiya's past and all that. Hopefully they do bring that up again and do more with it, and I think they will. But yeah, I think also soon we might get more goddesses involved. Like you got like her friend, and then on the poster there's a couple more on there as well. So hopefully things start getting real. Maybe Seiya's going to want to go back to the Divine Realm to train some more. Who knows? I certainly don't. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider subscribing and liking and commenting and more stuff, because YouTube likes that and gives you more views or something. I don't know how YouTube works. I will see you next week for another episode of this, Cautious Hero. For me, this was good actually, because we're in that weird week period where the clocks haven't gone back in America, but they have gone back here in the UK. So it came out an hour earlier for me. So I thought that was good. It's good for me anyway. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. As I said, I'll see you next week. And bye guys.